Late to the party, huh?
Go.
Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. My computer's giving me trouble. The link I had was not working, which was the biggest thing. So I just typed in the meeting ID and went from there. So Michael, I don't know if you can help me monitor the chat or what have you. That would be kind of cool. Just to, I don't know.
I'll try my best, and hopefully Vicky can chime in if I miss anybody. So.
Yeah, whatever works. We can stop for questions whenever people have them, or we can save them till the end, whatever works for you guys. So I'm really happy to be, kind of showcasing YouTube today. I have learned a lot from other fellow YouTubers, and I'm kind of bringing a lot of the know-how today. I think a lot of us, it's funny, I feel like YouTube is one of the few social media platforms where it's like its own planet. It's kind of its own world. I think we all visit Facebook frequently. We all know how to post, Instagram, and we do all that. But we like vacation in YouTube land, I like to call it. We search for things, we look for education or comedy videos or things, but we don't actually establish a presence. And so what I want to talk about today is more like how to build your channel, what you actually need to know, and just kind of go over some basics in the initial part of today. And then we're going to get a lot more complicated as we go on. And again, some of this might sound like gibberish. So if it does, stop me. We can talk about it a little bit further and go from there. But my goal today is to make sure you guys actually know how to get a high ranking video on YouTube, or at least to become more searchable. That's my goal today. So hopefully we accomplish that. So again, we're going to go over this really quickly. Why is YouTube important? They have nearly 2+ billion people a month looking at YouTube. The audience is 18 to 34 years old. Why is that important? Because we are all trying to connect with that millennial audience a lot better. And also our Gen Z audience that's up and coming is on there as well. So again, for a lot of us who are having trouble touching those demographics, I think if you're not on YouTube, you are totally missing the boat. Again, another cool thing about YouTube, especially for those of you that are in like the luxury market and you're showcasing your listings in a luxury fashion or whatnot, YouTube does go out to over 100 countries in 80 different languages. Not sure if you knew that. And then again, 1 billion hours watched a day on YouTube. So I don't know if you guys have those friends where they don't really watch Netflix or any of that stuff. They just binge on YouTube all day. Well, that's where that 1 billion hours actually comes from. So I'm going to minimize this here. When you guys are trying to access YouTube, I know everybody can go to youtube.com. That's not troublesome at all. But if you have a Gmail account, you actually already have a YouTube channel built in to some degree. So you can go down to the little block on your Gmail account. You can click the YouTube icon. It might not be in the exact spot that mine's at, but you could always access it through your Gmail account as you already have a linked channel there based off your Gmail. So a couple of housekeeping items before we get any further today. These are kind of basic, but just thought you should know. When people come to your channel, guys, they, if you want them to stick around, they expect a certain level of quality. And that's because there's been, thousands, and if not hundreds of thousands of very successful YouTubers that have a very impressive look to their channel, and hence why they keep their audience. So something I would suggest for all of you today is if you haven't touched your YouTube channel before, your YouTube account, go on there, get creative with what your cover photo is going to look like. You can create a great one on Canva. I know we might have a Canva class coming up pretty soon for all of our companies. And you can actually splice images, do all of that on there. But some people worry about the size. You actually on Canva can just type in YouTube cover photo, and it will give you a bunch of examples of what you can populate for free, if you guys didn't already know that. Making sure you have a very recognizable branded avatar. So you'll notice that I've got this little red arrow pointing to the CV star. We have our CV star across all of our platforms. So from Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, that's what you see from us. And so I would suggest if you've got a current headshot, making sure that your headshot's the same on all platforms as Chuck would, tell his people to do. Doing the same thing here on YouTube is important. Now down here at the bottom, you'll notice there's me in a video that's a minute long. I would highly suggest that you guys go ahead and you have an actual welcome or intro video on your channel. So when people get there, there's actually a friendly voice, somebody actually telling people what that channel is actually about. So what I would strongly suggest is you guys get on camera, maybe 30, 45 seconds, something really quick that just says, hey, I'm Nicholas Montier. I'm here to give you guys, real estate updates or real estate tips, or, here to showcase the latest property in maybe a certain area or zip code. We're going to talk about how specific that video should be a little bit later today, but having some kind of intro to your channel when they first get there is highly important because it's going to keep people engaged and feel like they're getting instant value right off the bat when they get there. It auto plays when people come onto your channel. By the way, if I'm like talking too fast or whatever, just somebody tell me. So housekeeping tip real quick at the very top. When you are on your YouTube channel, you'll notice that there's that little movie sign at the very, or that little film looking icon with the plus sign. If you drop it down, you can go ahead and click on upload video, and that's how you make it to our next screen here. Now, keep in mind, YouTube is a place to host your video. It's not a place to create your video. So you do need to create your content before you get to YouTube, for those that didn't know. And you would go ahead and select your file here and upload. You're going to insert your title here, your description here. I'm going to nail down on this a little bit more in a second because it's highly critical that your title is very specific, as well as your description, which also matches your tags, which we're going to get to in a moment, because my first tip of the day, which is probably the most important tip, is going to be to maximize your SEO. I think a lot of people, when we get on YouTube, again, we search, we look, we do things, but we don't actually nail down what makes a video searchable. And there's kind of a formula to it. So if you look on my screen here, there's 5 different elements that really parlay into having a searchable video. Now you can use this formula for any kind of video that you do. I mean, if you're like a part-time yoga instructor, you could do a yoga video based off of this, real estate, anything. And it really starts with having, you know, a great description, and really we can start at any point in this little cycle here. Maybe we'll start with the good content in your video with repetitive talk of your video topic. So for today's example, I'm going to say I'm doing a video on the top 5 apps in real estate, right? That would be kind of a cool video, right? If you actually did a video based off of the top 5 real estate apps that people should use in their home searching process. So if I'm going to do a video on the top 5 apps to use in real estate, something that people don't understand is that YouTube actually has an algorithm that pulls up the talk in your video. So they actually know what you're saying. Not that somebody's actually watching it, but they actually know what you're saying in your video. So if your topic or your title of your video is top 5 apps in real estate, I would want to say that in my video as many possible times as I could, so that it picks up that talk in the algorithm to tie people's search to my video. So again, if I go ahead and have a video say, hi guys, this is Nicholas Montier. We're talking about the top 5 apps in real estate. And the reason why we're talking about the top 5 apps in real estate is that I want you guys to know the most about your real estate process. Again, the top 5 apps in real estate, here we go. So I said it just now like 4 times, but I said it 4 times because it's what really helps the algorithm pick up my video to promote it further. The next thing you're going to want to see in the green here is have your description restate your tags. So if I said my video is the top 5 apps in real estate, I would want my title to say the top 5 apps in real estate. And then I would want the initial part of my description on my video to say the top 5 apps in real estate. So for those of you that have a lot of listings and you guys do a listing video every single time you promote a property, and you sometimes wonder why if I Google 123 Main Street, why does my video not populate? Well, if you were to have a tag that said 123 Main Street, and then you were to have a title of your video that said 123 Main Street, and in your description it said 123 Main Street, and then while I was talking in my video it said 123 Main Street. You see how obnoxious that gets? But this is one of the situations where matchy, 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 matchy is going to be super beneficial for you guys. So I'm trying to, you know, this is a tip and trick that works again across any form of video on YouTube, but you can really maximize your searchability by being repetitive. Now, I'm not a big fan of matching. Like today, I'm wearing a navy plaid shirt with yellow pants. So clearly I don't match, you know, in my normal life, but in YouTube land, it's amazing to actually match your content together. Now, building off of that search engine optimization, the next thing on our list here is relevant tagging keywords. So if I've got a video that says the top 5 apps in real estate, let's say I talk about, I don't really want to give anybody props like Zillow or Realtor.com, but let's just for this example, say you were talking about Realtor.com as a great app to search on, or maybe it's your Coldwell Banker app, your Zap app. I would probably want to put as one of my tags, Coldwell Banker home searching app, or Realtor.com home searching app, or home searching app, or best real estate apps. And I would basically be very repetitive, but different based off that original tag word. And again, so if you guys have a listing with a great pool in the backyard, like maybe your big thing is, you know, the best pool home in certain area, that's what the title of your video is, then maybe your tags are going to be based off of best pool home. best pool home in such zip code or best pool home in this area, and you can build off that same tag. They're relevant, but not exactly the same. And that's again going to get your video to rank higher. The last thing here that I'll talk about is a great video and thumbnail. So I'm going to get into that a little bit later in the video today, but having a great video thumbnail, like that picture that you guys see on the YouTube videos where there's maybe that guy making like a crazy Home Alone face and he's got, you know, an image or text off to the side here, making sure that that text on that thumbnail matches that same thing. So again, if we're talking about 123 Main Street or the 5 best apps in real estate, making sure that that thumbnail also, the text matches what our topic of our video is going to help you rank even higher. All right. Now, I just rambled on a lot and you're probably thinking there's no way in hell I'm going to do all of this because this is crazy. Like, how are you supposed to memorize all of this stuff? Well, I have a cheating tool that I use and it's called TubeBuddy. So has anybody heard of TubeBuddy? I can't really take polls on Zoom, huh? So it doesn't matter. I guess I'll just keep talking. That's the only thing about Zoom I don't like, by the way, is I can't talk to you guys, which drives me absolutely crazy. But TubeBuddy here, right? So TubeBuddy is a complete add-on. And once you actually go ahead and sign up for it, it is free, just so you guys know. So you can sign up for it. It allows you to search up to 20 tags or keywords a day. I upgraded to the pro version and it's only $4.50 a month. So it's not like it's going to break your bank if you really want to take this seriously. I will tell you this, guys, 9 out of 10 top YouTubers use TubeBuddy, just so you know, because it's a huge help. Because again, doing all of this is absolutely crazy to manage it all by yourself. And TubeBuddy kind of takes that whole equation and puts it together. So once you download TubeBuddy, it now is added into the top of your search bar on YouTube. So it becomes like a little add-on to your browser here. So every time I'm on a video, I'm now going to get analytics behind videos. It's also, if I click on it, it's going to drop down into this cool list of options. And it's going to allow me to have things like the Keyword Explorer. So remember I was telling you about tags earlier for like best real estate apps. So I can now search different tags or whatnot in the Keyword Explorer. And it's going to give me different rankings based on what I'm searching. And it's going to tell me if it's a great keyword or not. So I don't have to be like the genius. I can just let TubeBuddy be the genius and I can pick what I think is going to rank well. So let's say I go ahead and search the best apps to use in real estate. So you can obviously see why I use that today because it's my example and my screenshots. So best apps to use in real estate. So I went ahead and searched it and immediately, this is what the Keyword Explorer looks like, but immediately you can see that it's not a great keyword. The best apps in real estate, 4 out of 100. That's a really terrible score actually. And then down here, we've got our search volume and it really tells you why it's a bad score. So search volume is obviously okay. It's not, you know, it's not great. It's not bad. Competition is high though. If it looks like it says it's poor, that means that there's a lot of competition, which means maybe isn't the best searchable term. But optimization strength, it says that it's great. And the reason why it's saying it's excellent is because probably not a lot of people have exactly the words best apps to use in real estate. It doesn't match anybody to a T, which is why it's saying the optimization is great. So if somebody was to search exactly that, my video would probably pop up. But overall, TubeBuddy's saying the chances of that happening and everything altogether, probably not great. But if I niche down, so instead of saying best apps to use in real estate, maybe I niche down a little bit and I go a little bit more specific. And we're going to talk about niching down in a little bit, meaning like having a specialty. So instead of best apps to use in real estate, I did best home searching app. Look at my score jump just by going to best home searching app. Now notice how I'm ranking in as a 69 out of 100, right? Much better. And that's because my optimization is also great. My competition is a lot less and my search volume still kind of around average, but they're saying, hey, it's worth it because you're not going to have a lot of people out there with a similar video to this. So this would be a fantastic video probably to make. If anybody wants to just steal the idea today, if you want to go out there and do your first YouTube video on the best home searching apps, I think that'd probably be a great thing to do. Something else to keep in mind here on TubeBuddy is that at the top right now, I'm on the summaries tab. There's also a results tab. So it also will let you know exactly what results are there for that specific tag. So you can kind of see what your competition is doing. So if I touch on the results tab, I immediately see who has the top channel for this type of information. And then I can see their video thumbnails, what kind of highlighted keywords are here that match that term that I'm searching. And I can, again, watch all these videos, research their videos and see exactly what's out there so I can differentiate myself. Because I don't want to copy people. That's not what you want to do. You want to have something that's a little bit different as far as content or title or tags, right? All of it matters. It all adds up to one big thing. And keep in mind, guys, with this SEO stuff, you know, you can't do one without the other. Like if you just have great tags, but then it doesn't match your title or your description or anything, you really haven't done yourself any justice. Like you need to have all of it lined up to really maximize your online presence. I thought I had questions. Do I have any questions? Okay. Okay, cool. Could this be applied to other platforms like Instagram? You know, I'm not too sure. This video today, this training is very specific to YouTube. I'm not too sure. I know that the way keywords and hashtags, actually, they're called hashtags on Instagram, get searched is a little bit different. But, you know, I can look into it. I'm not 100% sure. Again, once I actually do my research, so I was on this page before to look at who my competition is, and I see this Matt Layton guy, and I'm like, okay, I need to know who this guy is if I'm going to do a video on apps, because he's got the #1 ranking video for this search term at the top. So you can go ahead and watch his video, but look how cool that YouTube Buddy actually, TubeBuddy pulls up this entire set of analytics off to the side here. So they're showcasing you know, this entire summary on what they've done with their social with this video, their channel, their SEO, and all the tags that they've actually used. So let's break that down a little bit. So at the very top, we've got total views and engagement on this exact video, so I can see how well it did. We've also got SEO, and I put this little loop arrow here to kind of tie the two together to show you the fact that he's only done 2 out of the 21 suggested things that the SEO system on YouTube is suggesting. So if I look here, the only couple of things that he's actually done down here under best practices is he has a nice thumbnail. You know, he's got an end screen that he's added. He's got captions, and he's got some comments that we're actually engaged with, but that's it. He didn't put it on he didn't get it liked on his Facebook. It wasn't shared on Twitter. He didn't pin a comment to the top of his YouTube video. So there's a lot of stuff that, you know, YouTube wants your video to rank high because they want to promote your content to more people, because YouTube makes money off of advertising. So the better your content is, the more they can promote it, the better your video is going to do. And then down here, this is actually my favorite thing. If nothing else on TubeBuddy, at least use it for the Keyword Explorer. And then you can see what he actually used for his tags to get his video to rank high. So you can see that he used best real estate app, real estate app, real estate app, Apple, Redfin, Zillow, Compass Real Estate, all of these different things. You know, and again, I'm not sure how well that those tags rank, but they actually did work for him in this formula here. And notice how they're kind of repetitive. And that's what I was trying to mention earlier with the tags, is that, you know, these are somewhat repetitive. Like he's got Zillow on here with Zillow app and Zillow mobile app, right? But that's because he wants people who are searching for those types of apps or those types of searches for his video to populate as one of the top results. So you can use some bigger names like that in order to sometimes elevate your video, as long as you're actually talking about those applications. Okay, any questions on SEO before we go any further? Because that was, you know, kind of a long-winded talk there. Does it show?
Question in the chat for you.
What was that, Peggy? Oh, does it show you the same screen for other videos if you randomly pick one? Yeah, so every time now, once TubeBuddy's downloaded, I think it's kind of cool. Maybe it could be annoying, but anytime you watch any video, it could be a comedic video. And if you go wherever, it's gonna now show the analytics behind every single YouTube video that you watch, right? Any other questions? No? Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, so tip number 2, engage. So basically what's gold on YouTube, kind of like when people comment on your Facebook posts, right? Or they like your business page or follow your business page, that's what it's all about on Facebook as far as getting that engagement. On YouTube, it's all about subscribing. So YouTube's gold is subscribes, and that's how a lot of these these creators, they call them, make a lot of their money, is actually their subscribes and their watch hours. So what I would suggest, if you guys are looking to further your channel to get more of a presence, go and find a lot of your favorite people within the same world as you. So if you're in real estate, or if you're trying to promote home buyer tips or seminars or whatever it is that you're using YouTube to create, right? go ahead and subscribe to those other channels, right? Like their posts, dislike their posts, whatever it may be. Just go out there and actually engage with them. A lot of YouTubers, when you subscribe, they will actually subscribe back to your channel. It's actually a very supportive community for the most part. And people understand that people get monetized and actually make money on YouTube with subscribes. So the further you dig deep on that, the more of a community you're going to feel and the more traction your videos are actually going to get. Now you'll notice down here it says don't spam, don't sub for sub. So you'll see that a lot in people's posts. You'll see the word sub for sub, which means, hey, I'll subscribe to you if you subscribe to me. Don't do that. That's not how you're going to make friends on YouTube. You guys can do it amongst each other, which would be kind of cool. You guys can support each other and maybe beat the system a little bit. But I would say go ahead and just comment. And when you do comment, provide value. So if somebody's got a video on the home buying process, maybe asking a question like, hey, how long are contingencies in your state or in your area? Or, hey, what kind of inspection timeframes are you guys seeing right now? But asking a question or furthering the conversation on somebody else's video is what you're going to want to do. That practice that we use on Facebook applies here as well. So it's definitely something that you can do. Yeah. I love how people know I'm talking on Zoom and yet they still want me to wave. It's so funny. Anyways, so long story short, and I said be the first to comment. So you're thinking, well, how do I know when they post? There's a thing called a notification bell on everybody's channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell because it will actually let people know, let you know when they post a new video. And that way you can be one of the first people to comment. Why do you want to be one of the first people to comment? Because then you get to be the comment that sometimes is the most recognized or gets the most traction. Sometimes if your comment 700 out of, 1,000 comments, you're going to get buried in the bottom there. But if you're one of the first people to actually go on there and comment and provide value, you're likely going to get noticed a lot more, a lot faster. So that kind of engagement is really, really crucial. Suggestions for subscribe. So I actually think people like to do, ask for subscribes at the very end of their videos. They tend to do that a lot. I think it's actually more successful to ask for subscribes in the beginning of your videos because most people's watch time is not going to get to the end of your videos. So if you've got a 10-minute long video or a 5-minute long video, you might, especially if you're new to YouTube and you don't have a lot of subscribers, you might only get, somebody's attention for 30 to 45 seconds. So if you get on there right away and say, hey guys, this is my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe. You do all of that talk at the initial part of your video. You're actually going to be a lot more successful than putting it at the end. How do the company commercials affect your YouTube vids? When I watch vids, there's a few interruptions. So the longer, I don't know how they actually affect as far as watch time, but what I can tell you is that if your video is over 10 minutes long, that YouTube will actually put advertisements in the middle. So they actually won't put any advertisements on your video except for maybe the initial part of getting onto your video if your video is less than 10 minutes long. So you'll notice that a lot of the big YouTubers actually do their videos for longer than 10 minutes because they actually want to include that advertising space so they get paid more. So a video that's over 10 minutes is actually worth more monetarily than a video that's under 10 minutes. But if you're trying to just start out and just get people to watch your channel and provide value right away, which is what I would suggest that you do initially, I would say if your video is under 10 minutes, you're not going to have any commercials during the middle of your video. That's how it is right now, at least on YouTube. How long should your video be on average? I would say as long as the content is actually engaging and keeping people's attention. I say you could go as long as you want. And, we've all watched a TED Talk, right? If you guys go on there and you watch a TED Talk, you're engaged for the whole 30 minutes because you're just waiting for this captivating story to like unfold, right? Like you're just watching and watching and watching. So if you've got content like that, where you could talk for 20, 30 minutes and you're going to keep them there, that's fantastic. I think a lot of us, if we're just starting out, we're just still getting comfortable even being on camera. So I'd say maybe shoot for maybe a 4 to 5 minute video, whatever your topic is. Make sure you just have good content. We're gonna get to what the content should look like in a little bit, but that's something definitely you're gonna want to be looking at. We'll ask some questions in a minute. So upload, be consistent. So I know realtors, I myself am a sucky at this sometimes as well. So I know we all struggle with the being consistent part, right? We should post on Facebook consistently, Instagram, all of that. We should be consistent with our farming, all of that jazz. Same thing with YouTube. So YouTube favors you guys, and think about this, the company of YouTube favors your channel more and wants to promote you more if you're putting out content more consistently. They don't like people who put out a video today and then 3 months from now put out a video. They want people who consistently post. Now that could be bi-weekly. It doesn't have to be every week. I would suggest to really get yourself in it and start building your channel. 1 video a week would be amazing. And in fact, a lot of the top YouTubers I follow tell people to actually go out there and put 1 video out there a week. And I think the best way to really maximize on that is create a video schedule. We're gonna get a little bit more into topics in a minute, but I think creating a video schedule is highly crucial. What do I mean by that? I know Chuck is kind of a master. Chuck Whitehead's a master at this. You know, he'll sit down and he'll create 5, 6, 7 videos within 1 day. Right? He'll sit down and he'll just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. And then he schedules and keens them out so he has consistent content for a while down the road. I would suggest you guys do the same thing. So pick a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever, and shoot your videos, shoot several at a time, and then schedule them out so that you have consistent content. Because if you were to pick up everything and do this over and over and over again every day or every Monday, whatever your time frame is, it's going to get exhausting. So I think that to make this fun and exciting for you, that's what I would suggest. So something else, have good content. So this is something you really have to ask yourself. Is your video answering a question or providing value? Keep in mind that YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. So Google being the first one, and Google owns YouTube as of 2006. So YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine. So my question is, you know, when you search on YouTube, what do you guys search for? You know, ask yourself that question. I know, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. I bought chickens, right? I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook post this recently. I have now 5 live chickens living at my house. Freaks me out. Partner brought them home one day. I have no control over it. But what do? As a millennial, I freaked out and I went home, and what do? I just start YouTubing the heck out of chicken stuff because I just wanna understand, what am I getting myself into, right? So I researched, okay, what kind of coop do they need? How long do they live? Are they profitable? Are they not? I mean, the list went on with chickens, right? What is the point of having chickens? So think about this. If somebody was to actually come and want to watch a real estate video by you, or whatever it is that you're specializing in, what would that look like? You know, what question would somebody ask? What question could you answer, right? The top 2 things people actually come onto YouTube for are either comedy, right? We all love cat videos, dog videos, right? Or they actually come on here for education. Those are the top 2. So I would assume most people on here are probably going to be in the education category because you're probably going to be answering a question with your video that you're doing for somebody out there. Is your video something you want to click on? So I was talking to you guys earlier about thumbnails. I included a few off to the side here just to kind of show you what a great thumbnail looks like. You know, this is the Home Alone face guy, right, with the best apps right here. This lady's got top apps for real estate agents. You can create all of this on Canva, guys. If you go on Canva and under templates you search, you can actually type in YouTube thumbnail and it populates a bunch of free thumbnails for you just to choose from. It's like the easiest thing in the world. So if you're worried about yours looking all pretty or cool like this, it takes like 5 minutes on Canva and you can put one together, high res and all that jazz. What quality is your video? So I only say that because if you do have, like, I would say an iPhone, but I was told before, if you have like an iPhone 7 or 6 or older, it's not as great. Maybe the camera's not going to be as great. Mine's an 8 Plus, and mine does incredibly well. The camera quality on mine is fantastic. So I would say your cell phone is totally fine. If you've got the budget to go out and buy a camera, I know everybody's got techie people in their offices. Ask them what they use. I know there's a lot of great cameras that you could go out there and buy. How is your sound and your lighting? I personally, I'm not using it today because you can tell this lighting is absolutely terrible on my face. But I have a ring light at my house. You know, you can buy one for a few bucks, I think maybe 20, 30 bucks on Amazon. And then for sound, I think sound is one thing that turns a lot of people off with videos. So if you're in like a room that's tingy and you can hear a lot of other noises, again, we're going for quality, right? When people are on this, you want them to stick around. So I actually bought a mic not too long ago from Purple Panda. This was 20 bucks. And it plugs right into my cell phone and it works amazingly well. So if you guys are looking for a great mic, I'm happy to promote this because it works really well for me. But again, you might not need one. Depends on the room that you're in. If it's a room with a lot of maybe, you know, rugs or furniture, maybe it won't be as tingy, but just be aware of that. Words of wisdom. Your first videos are gonna totally suck, guys. They just are. And the big thing that I hear from a lot of the YouTubers out there is that they say that all of their original content was absolutely terrible. Like it just is. And it's because you got to get used to it. You got to get your feet wet. You're going to be learning a lot about yourself and how you're doing. So I think it's highly critical to just get out there, go ahead and do that. I just had an iced coffee delivered to me. That's really nice. And go out there and just start shooting video. Just start shooting yourself. Even if you don't have a topic in mind, just get comfortable with the camera, get comfortable with your lighting, and just figure it out. I think that's the biggest thing. And then over time, you're gonna understand what the good content's really gonna be to keep people engaged. You'll figure it out. Okay, so my tip number 5 is gonna be niching down. So I was telling you guys earlier, don't go big. Like, don't just go for a channel about real estate. You know how many channels are out there just about real estate, like hashtag real estate? Everybody does that. So don't go broad, go very specific. So I put an example up here, don't do a real estate channel. Maybe do a real estate channel for seniors, right? Or maybe you're a realtor that specializes in a coastal community. Do a real estate channel just on that coastal community. I mean, as specific as the community name, like coastal living. I was telling a story just the other day about a famous YouTuber. They had literally no subscribers. They started, and within 60 days, they had an entire following of like a few thousand subscribers and lots of people finding their content and enjoying it. And it was because they were a dietitian, but they weren't just a dietitian. They were a dietitian that focused on Whole30 cooking with a Korean influence. So it was that specific that actually got them noticed. It was like, let's go Whole30 and then let's go into this specific type of cuisine, and boom, they got noticed really quickly. So if you're really looking to maximize on your channel, the more specific you can go, the better. Like I was trying to find a channel the other day where it was real estate built for like millennials. Like I couldn't find a channel out there that was great for like real estate built strictly for like a millennial audience. And I thought to myself, like as far as real estate that pertains to millennials and how they buy homes and student loan debt and all of that stuff and how it affects them financially, like I couldn't find a lot of great stuff. So I thought, oh my gosh, that would be such a great idea or a great channel somebody could do just on that specific topic built around real estate. So again, why would somebody watch this? You want to ask yourself, what is your audience going to be? The more specific, the better. I know we don't say that a lot with certain things. We usually say, don't go so far in. This is one of the opposites. You're going to really want to niche down. And you can even have multiple niches. I know a lot of famous YouTubers where they go ahead and oh, how funny. Somebody just asked me, could you manage 2 different niches? Yeah. So a lot of people, they call it double niching or, niching down in 2 different aspects. So I would say if you've got 2 things that you absolutely love that are specific to you in your life, go for it. Actually, Christine Baramontes, I was the one who asked that question. I mean, Christine, you are like hardcore French. So like I would go, California real estate for the foreign buyer or something, just go have fun with it. But what would you talk about that would parlay to that audience, and how would you provide value for them? That's the key. And again, don't copy what others are doing, say it in your voice. Everybody I know, I can ask 5 realtors how the real estate process is. And I can guarantee you that each of the 5 realtors that I talk to will have a different explanation of the real estate process. So you may think you don't have anything to say, but you do. You have a lot to say, and you should use YouTube as your platform. Overall, YouTube takes time to build. I think that's that's probably the biggest point here that I want to make. So I know a lot of us are going to do one video. We may even follow all the SEO stuff I just talked about today. And then you're going to be like, Nick, my video is not ranking. What's going on? It takes time. And remember that you're going to go through this building process. Just like if you were to pick out a farm in a neighborhood, you're probably going to door knock for 6 months to a year before something becomes fruitful, depending on what market you're in. For some neighborhoods, even longer. Well, YouTube is no different. And just like social media takes time to build, this takes time to build as well. Make sure you are always providing value. There was a story recently of a college kid who went away to school, thought it would be cool to document his college experiences on camera. So what he did is he got on camera every day for like 365 days and just ranted. So he had 365 days of footage to put on his channel. Well, guess what? Nobody watched it. And nobody watched it because it wasn't interesting. It didn't provide value. It wasn't even funny. It was just this kid in the life of going to school. And think about how many millennials right now are going to school. or how many Gen Zers are now going to school. You know, it just didn't draw people in. There was no value. So make sure you're providing value. Just don't just upload content, think it through, kind of like what I was saying. YouTube is a business, so take it seriously. Remember, and what I mean by take it seriously is, you know, take a moment to make sure the lighting's right. Take a moment to make sure the sound sounds good. Take a moment to think through your content. You know, some of us work better when we're scripted. So if you need to sit there and you need to rehearse a little bit of what you're going to say, or maybe you tape up, I've done this before. I've taped up bullet points on the wall where you can't see when I'm talking. And I've made sure at least I follow the bullet points that are on the big, you know, piece of drywall behind the camera. So at least I can keep on topic while I'm talking. So it sounds smoother than, you know, what actually, how my brain works. And if you do this right for long enough and you put out great content, you could make great passive income off of YouTube. And again, YouTube, TubeBuddy is literally my favorite thing. It really makes my life a lot easier, and it just makes me not have to be as creative all the time. So I really highly recommend, if nothing else today, you guys download TubeBuddy and at least play with that a little bit. Any questions? I talked a lot, I apologize. Any questions, guys? It's kind of all that I had today.
It was a lot. It was good. It was good stuff.
Was
Awesome.
it good? Okay, cool.
Oh no, it really was. I'm going to have to revisit this and look at the recording. So I'm glad we have it. But it was great.
Cool. It says Janie has one. I didn't see it. How long should your video be on average? Yeah, I think your video, like I said earlier, your video should really be. I think your video should be as long as you can keep your audience engaged. I think that's the biggest piece of know-how there. And guys, share it with your family and friends. Like, you know, your spouse sometimes is your best critic, or maybe sometimes your worst. Maybe they're too nice to you. I don't know. But sometimes you can be like, hey, I need you to be brutally honest with me. You know, we all have that friend who could tell us exactly what they think. Send it to them before you put it out there. They might tell you, oh my gosh, this is completely worthless. Like, I would not put this out. And you say, okay, great. Well, no worries. Well, what can I do differently? Well, if you did this, this, that, and this, it would be better. Okay, then reshoot it. You know, reshoot it and do better the next time, you know. Or if you don't have somebody to ping this off of, put out the content that you create out to YouTube, and then let YouTube be the judge, and just keep making videos. Here's what I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you to do one video and then get discouraged. I want you to do video after video after video after video and really build your audience. What do you use to edit your video? I just discovered this great app the other day called Video Perfect app. So I really like that one, but there's a million of them. There's like Videolicious. I don't know if you guys remember Videolicious a couple years ago. It was pretty cool. So if you want to add music and stuff like that, you definitely can. There's so many video editing apps out there. I personally like to actually upload them to like my iMovie account and do everything through iMovie. Like, that's me. But I know some people don't like iMovie, so I'm not a big fan of promoting it, because I know some people think it's a little funky. But iMovie's great. That's what I like. If you choose a niche, all videos should stick to that. No, well, yeah, what I would say is stick to your niche at first. So stick to your niche at first. So what I mean by that is, hey, if I'm going to do just, you know, real estate videos for seniors, just do real estate videos for seniors, and everything that would affect a senior buying a home for, you know, the next, you know, I would say maybe 15, 20, 30 videos. Stick to that niche and then slowly broaden out. And remember, you could have multiple niches. So if you feel like you're getting stuck on one topic, maybe go ahead and have another niche simultaneously and be putting content out to both of those niches so you don't feel so claustrophobic. I think what's going to keep you guys doing this too is if you find something that you really like to talk about. So to be honest, if you don't love to talk about real estate, maybe it's not the best thing to be videoing yourself talking about. I love talking about it. I think it's fun. I know Chuck loves talking about it. I think he thinks it's fun. So, you know, finding something that you're passionate about to actually create your channel around, I think is super crucial. But again, it could even just be videos of your listings. I would say follow that SEO formula. So at least you're benefiting your sellers and your listing. You can use this in your listing presentation, like this whole SEO idea of how you help promote property on YouTube. I doubt there's any realtors I know that are actually doing this, you know, actually showing people how they get their presence out there in front of more people this way. What do you use to edit your videos? I think I got that one. Okay, yeah. I know your son's the hardest critic. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of critics. I send it to everybody if I do anything. Any particular tripod, mic, ring light that you recommend or like? You know what I'll do is I'll send out an email after this. I'll collect my 3 favorite like YouTubers that taught me a lot. So I'll send you guys their channels, and then I'll send you guys some links to some equipment and stuff that I use. I already had a tripod, but I know my friend is a videographer, and she can probably recommend a great one too. So I can do that too. But I'll send out an email with a bunch of info. I think that'll be the best thing. And you guys can have all these slides and all that. I don't, you know, I don't care. All right. All right. Well, we didn't go the full hour, but I hope you guys got something out of this today. Yeah, cool. Can you take a live Facebook video and edit it into Imovie? Ooh, I don't know. Can you take a live, you know, I'm gonna actually ask Peggy, can you take a live Facebook video, Peggy, off of?
I was just posting a comment on that. I think that if you save your Facebook Live onto your phone, you should be able to edit it from there.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you can save the file, then yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, gosh, well, thank you so much for tuning in today. Yeah, feel free to, I guess we recorded it, which is really great. And we'll go from there. All right. And again, YouTube's always evolving. So as it gets better, I will go ahead and put out maybe another, you know, YouTube training with more updates on how the platform is developing, because they are always changing stuff. So as the algorithm changes and as things happen, I will go ahead and do a part 2, or we could even do a reboot of this if you guys want to. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you to